So, you trying to make a broke boy meal like what I'm making right now? Pasta and steak with marinara? I'll show you how. You can use whatever protein you want, chicken or tuna, but this is my way. I had steak in the freezer, so that's what I'm using. So, I'll show you what I do to make it. As a reminder, I'm not a professional chef or ever had much experience or was taught how to cook, so you can roast me if you want. This is just how I do it. Let me know what I can improve on too, but let's get to it. Don't mind the mess or the flickering light. I don't know why it's doing that, but I'll be cleaning this tomorrow anyways. But gotta set this water to high first. Get our pasta ready for it. I'm just using spaghetti, thin spaghetti. I wanna know precisely what I'm using. Next, gotta turn on this pan, put some olive oil in that. Just let it heat up for a bit. But to prepare it, I'll show you what I need to do. So ingredients. This can be whatever ingredients you want. Obviously with some common sense. But we're going to use 2 cloves of garlic, 1/4 of an onion, and of course steak. So for garlic, smash it open. This one is a little weird, but it's easy like that. The second one, do the same thing. So we get the husk out of here, or whatever you want to call it. Then we're gonna mince it. Doesn't need to be super fine or big, just to however you like it. Kind of hard to use this cutting board just because it slides around, which is really annoying, but it's whatever. Now we got our pan here. Next is the onion. This onion's a little funky, but just remove that part. End off here. So what I like to do is cut against the line, so perpendicular. So it's going this way, I'll cut this way, just to get strings. I like to cut it thinner so the onion cooks faster, because I'm not really a big fan of raw onions. I like them, caramelized and crispy. So cutting them thinly gets a little messy, but hey, make sure you wash your hands too, because this happens. Get the big pieces, cut them smaller. Don't mind my cutting skills, guys. Our pan is pretty warm. I don't want it too hot, so we're just gonna add all the stuff we cut up. Mind you that the onions will take a long time to cook, like longer than garlic, so just gotta cook it like that. Alright, for our steak, since it's in a food saver, we gotta cut it open, then cut it on the cutting board so it cooks faster. So this knife does not have a great tip, but it is pretty sharp on the edges, so gotta do that. Can't really puncture it, but get a pair of tongs. Take it out of its food saver, bam. Then put in the garbage here, so then you get fruit flies again, which is annoying. But this is kind of long, so I'm gonna cut it in half. Take a piece here, just cut it, have some thickness to it. It's just a little harder to cut just because of the cutting board, but yeah, feel like 1/2 inch thick, maybe a little less, depending on how quick you want your beef to be cooked. But yeah, I'm a little impatient, so I cut it a little thinner than recommended, like this. So I added some seasoning in here, added salt and black pepper. Don't be like me who forgot to record that. But we're letting this cook for about 5 more minutes before we add the beef. Now we gotta check the water. It is boiling a little bit. One thing I did forget was to add salt to the water, so sprinkle some in there. Give it a little more time to ferociously boil. Alright, now it's boiling pretty crazy. Since we use a lot of pasta, I'm just gonna use the rest of this. Got it in there. Boom. And again, don't be messy like me. After a couple seconds, just put it in here so you don't burn the pasta on its side.
All right, we're gonna add the beef to this. Boom. Just shove them in here. Let them cook up. Make sure all of them will have even contact on each side. And that's it. Also for the pasta, the directions will be on the back, but I probably cook it around like 7 minutes. You can try like pick a noodle out, obviously with using a utensil, taste it, and see if it's actually cooked, but the time's usually 7 minutes. Each one gets at least some time to be cooked on each side. I don't know if that just made any sense, but they give me each side some time to cook. And then we'll add the pasta sauce, but it still needs some more time. Alright, it's been like a couple minutes, so we're gonna turn it to the other side, just so it gets cooked again. Probably leave it around 1 minute, and then we're gonna add the pasta sauce. It doesn't look appetizing now, but it will when we add the marinara sauce. Okay, it's been a minute, so we're gonna add the marinara sauce. Make sure you put it away from you so it doesn't splash. But I feel like not much, pretty much. However much you want. I would say it's around half a cup, a fourth of a cup. But this is when you also add in the Italian seasoning, just to add some more flavor in there. And then, at least for me, I like to add chili flakes because I like it spicy. So we're gonna also add that in there. You don't have to do this. Of course, it's all up to you. You don't have to do what I do. But this is what I do. And then just mix it around, making sure the seasoning gets dispersed evenly and, you know, gets all the flavors. We're just gonna let this cook down a little bit, and yeah, this should be done. Just let it there. Just let it sit here. I like to cover it so it keeps, you know, a little bit warm as long as this, you know, reduces. Our last step, second to last step, is vegetables. You can do whatever vegetable you want, but we have spinach that needs to be used, so I just pop the spinach in here. Eat vegetables in your diet, so this is all we have right now, so I'm using the spinach. Once you add this in, just mix it in so spinach can actually get cooked down, because we don't really want raw spinach in our spaghetti. Alright, once your spinach has wilted down like this, you know, it's gotten smaller, almost there, we're gonna add spaghetti noodles. And I don't feel like straining, so just gonna add it in like this. Just pop it in here, take whatever's in here, the tongues, got enough pasta sauce. I don't need to add more pasta water in here, so I'm just gonna let it, you know, cook in here. Like, put the flavors immerse into the noodles, just like this. Just mix it around so everything is coated like so. All right, after a minute, it's pretty much done. We got our nice little bowl. We don't really care about the presentation, so I'm just gonna plop it in here like this. I just have to tell you that the meat is not gonna be tender just because first, it's a lean cut, and second, I'm not really cooking it properly, so it's gonna get overcooked anyways. If you really want it to be perfect, you can cook the steak separately and then add it on there, but you know, it's not really worth my time right now. All right, my small table. We don't really have a dining table still. We do have a couch though, so we're making progress there. But got the finished product. Pretty simple, not bad at all. I'm gonna give it a taste test. I probably made this twice with the steak, and then for chicken and tuna, I also make it the same way. So literally use any protein you want. This is like a broke boy meal, you know? You should probably add tuna or chicken instead of steak. But that's the protein I had right now that I needed to use, so that's the recipe for you. But the recipe is usually the same anyways. Don't mind me being a little awkward on camera, eating too. I'm not really an expert or a big fan of doing this, but this is still steamy, still hot. Probably should get a steak with that. All right, I know this is gonna burn my mouth, but
Cheers, y'all. This is good. Of course, the beef isn't, tender. It's overcooked, but still works. Still getting the protein in, we need it. The taste is pretty good. I like it. It's tomatoey. You got the onion flavor, the garlic flavor. Nothing else really comes out. I mean, there's chili pepper in here, but you can't taste it at all. Spinach doesn't have flavor, but it's in here, so you get in the greens too. The sauce is pretty thick though. It's not runny, which is good. I don't really prefer runny sauces. The noodles aren't overcooked at all. I cooked it around 7 minutes. I tried it first. Of course, try your noodles and see if it needs to be more cooked. But shoot for the minimum time that they put and then see if it's ready or not, or to your liking. I like mine al dente, so yeah, I like the chew to it. I like it when I add the spice in here too. It adds more layers of complexity. Instead of just having like a tomato, garlic, and onion taste, it also has a spicy aftertaste or spicy effect. So it makes it more interesting, more appealing. I'm also semi-lactose intolerant, so one thing you could do is add Parmesan cheese if you want, or add any other cheese on top. It'll probably make it taste better too if you want it. But like I said, I'm a little bit lactose intolerant, so I'm not gonna add cheese to it. But I enjoy this dish a lot. It's really easy to make. It's simple. It doesn't take that much time to make. The only thing is that it'll take a lot more dishes just because of the pot to boil the pasta. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really know how much pasta to add. I just added what was left. But I would say like a little handful like that is enough for a serving. If you make too much, you can just save it for tomorrow. It's not a big deal. But there's nothing to complain about this. I'm not really a big fan of spaghetti. We just had to use it. I like rigatoni the best. So maybe next recipe, I'll put rigatoni in here. But for now, if you have pasta, make it in this. You can honestly use any pasta you desire or have. Since I used the leftover pasta, whatever we had, it wasn't too much in here, but that's okay. It's an off day anyways. Also, excuse the camera angle. It's a little ugly because I'm using my phone. I don't have a camera. But I'm sure it'll look better if I had like a real camera, so I can put it closer, because I have to move it back in order to have this frame up here. Even if you can't really even see my top of my head either, but yeah, if the framing is terrible, I'm sorry for that. I'm still trying to figure out how to record videos like this, because this is my third cooking video. But yeah, there will be more cooking videos to come. Man, you can't really go wrong with this. If you like these cooking videos, let me know. I'm happy to record more, put out more recipes out there. I do have a plan to show you my protein recipes and broke recipes in a way, because I know a lot of athletes, we don't have money, but I can give you ingredients that are good within your budget. If you really like this series, I'll continue it, but let me know down in the comments below too. Make sure you like the video so I know, and subscribe. It won't hurt to subscribe. And yeah, if you haven't seen the last cooking video, I'll put it right here. Remember to go improve it to prove it. All right? I'll see you in the next video.